I don't think that there's nothing that cannot be overcome. When I got the revelation, finally I accepted that, okay, this is my calling. The problem of, well, I don't have money. How am I going to start this? My salary has supported me and, you know, my lifestyle and everything so far. What am I going to do? In previous years, I used to travel at least twice a year. So I said, okay, now I'm not going to have to travel again. I'm going to give it up. Feeding. I used to buy a lot of pastries, unnecessary pastries. I love flour. So I'm like, okay.
You're a dough addict.
I'm a dough addict.
Okay.
So I said, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to cut down on a lot of things. Phone calls, text messages, because I need to do this well. Phone calls mean that you're going to have to buy a lot of credits to set unnecessary text to people, chit-chat about unnecessary things and stuff. You're going to have to cut it out. So I had a total review of my lifestyle, my daily life. There are certain places that, okay, if I got invited to, I need fuel to move on to the place. Thinking about it, I'll just send a very nice card through a friend to the person to save the fuel. And I managed very, very well. At the point, it was so hard. I needed to take a loan from a bank. My first time of taking a loan from a bank. It was scary. Because I'm like, okay, I don't want to be in debt. I like the way I'm living. But I was trusting God. And so I took a loan. And so that's what helped a lot of the activities, initial activities. There's the young people out there who say, well, because I don't have money, so I can't start in. It is all a joke. You're just sitting on a gold mine, if that's what I'll call it. You need to step out and say, I can do this, I can do that. And through whatever means. And I've called on friends. There are plenty, there are lots of people who I've called on and they say, what, prisons? Are you crazy? I've had a lot of people say that to me in my face. And I just laugh and like, whatever, you don't want to be part of the project, just move on. And I meet people who do not know me from anywhere and they believe in my dream.
What you're doing.
And so say, well, really, what do you need?
We'll support you.
I will support you. I'll give you, I said, what do you need? Some of the times I'm just thinking about how to feed the inmates. I want rice. It's like some of my requests are so basic and so little. But they go a long way to put a smile on somebody's face. And it's been amazing. I've set out to do this by cutting out a whole lot of things, excesses. And one thing I've realized is that when God calls you to a certain level, there are certain things and certain people you need to leave behind. And I've had to do that. It's been very painful, letting some friendships go. Why can't I travel? You know, why can't I do this? Why can't I fly by air to maybe Kumasi to see my parents? Now you need to use public transport or maybe rent a car or do something like that. You know, they've all been minimal things right now. But I'm loving it because at the end of the day,
you have a certain sense of fulfillment.
It's intrinsic. The reward is
a beautiful thing. I think that, I mean, last week we were talking about this, and the sense of joy that you receive from giving somebody, putting a smile on someone's face, knowing that you're going about your day-to-day work, doing God's work. There's a certain sense of fulfillment that you cannot describe to anybody. But what do you actually hope to achieve? What are your long-term goals for angel-zoe?
My long-term goals, the biggest right now, my focus is to get a place. One of the challenges I've had to face is when the inmates come out. And I don't deal with any inmates at all. I deal with A-class. I call them A-class because they are good on all fronts. They are not. So you haven't actually had to deal with hardcore criminals. And you deal with them in there, but they are not. When they step out, I don't make it my business continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I deal with those who, upon recommendation, they are social welfare. They are not safe, trying to reform, putting the effort to reform.
Okay.
And I would say that one of the successes, or the success trend, has been that for last year, the 12 months, we're able to reintegrate 16 inmates, including the 2 young British juveniles who were there.
Drags.
Yeah. And it's been amazing. And I'm still in contact with them.
Okay.
And everything is wonderful.
Okay.
But I want a halfway house. When they come out, I want a place where I can put these people, get my counselors on the ground, monitor them for at least 6 months before they
finally integrate into society.
Deal with the families as well, who feel very aggrieved by all the offenses these people have committed. I know this because when Akwesi came out, everybody shunned him. Even me. Until I realized that we need to help these people every step of the way. There's no way about it. Because one thing is, I know people when they come out, and all those people on motorbikes snatching people's mobile phones. Have you seen a grey-haired old man on a motorbike?
They're all
young people. We need to help them to get back
to know that there's a better life out there for them.
Yes.
You can't quite blame them for all of that. But let's move on to a lighter note now.
Okay.
I'm going to pry a little into your personal life.
Okay.
You were working with somebody who was actually helping you. He was your partner, and was also at a point, and also counseling you. What do you want for your personal self? What are the dreams for your personal? Not angel-zoe. Let's talk about yourself.
Me.
Yes.
For some reason, on my prayer list, angel-zoe comes first.
Okay.
Yes, because I put in so much. I need it to be successful. So I won't really underrate anything. Angel-zoe is up there.
Okay.
Then for me, a man who supports me in everything.
What you're doing.
Very supportive man. What I'm doing is tricky. It's not everybody who can understand. Why do you have to spend Christmas Day? I was in prison. I had a Christmas party.
I know.
How many people would say, okay,
I'm
don't spend Christmas. Don't
with
spend Christmas with the family, but spend it in
Mm.
prison with these people. I want that kind of man, and I believe God is going to give me that kind of man.
Amen.
Then again, I pray that I will get all the support. What I'm doing depends a lot on finances, a lot of money. I'm praying that this new year, now that I'm out of my company, my formal work, I can get people looking at me as this is a good project. I need to sow a seed in, and so I need lots of money. For instance, I'm working, my outhouse is my office, and it's so not good enough. I need a place in town where people would say, you know, if I want to walk in, how do I get this?
Okay.
And I need a lot of people to come on board, counselors, you know, because the
volunteers. You should look for
volunteers
at this stage.
on all fronts, counselors. People would also go around raising funds and all kind of things. And so for me personally, I want peace of mind, lots of joy, lots of love. And if you want to be my friend, you can be my friend. If you believe in angel-zoe.
If you sow love, you reap love. So love is plenty that you shall receive. But the final word before you leave, just give us you've got 2 seconds. What advice would you give some young? You're under 30. You've done your first degree. You've got your master's. You've got work experience, and you're into your own thing. And you're under 30, and beautiful to boot.
Thank you.
What words of advice would you leave us with here?
I would advise everybody who's watching to not focus on the things that we think are important. Sometimes they are vain, a lot of vain things. At the end of the day, when you're on your sick bed or your dying bed, what will you be asked? You'll be asked, how many lives did you influence whilst you were on earth? And that's what guides me all the time and gives me the passion.
What you're doing. Yes. Abna, you're a very wonderful person. From the first day I met you, and I wish you all the best with angel-zoe. I just hope you at home who've watched Abna will find it in a little way to contribute to her cause. If you want to do so, call the producer, and she'll give you Abna's details so that you can give whatever that you want to give. Cash, kind, whatever is most welcome. Now, we're going to go for a commercial break, and when we come back, we have our Look and Feel Good segment, and we're going to be talking about lips. Stay with us.